Ladies and gentlemen, failure is perceived wrongly, so most people in most places think of it as an unrecoverable defeat which can put your family's name at risk, right? But what most people are not aware of, and I'm sure most of you are included in this, is that dreamers, most of the time immigrants, come to Silicon Valley to achieve their crazy dreams that otherwise, would only end up as regrets. So this happens in a time in history when immigration is being questioned by politicians, and people in general. But what we're not aware of is how Silicon Valley would look like with just locals, right? No immigrants, no people from outside. And, I'm telling you, it would not be half as developed as it is right now. Since immigrants account for more than half of the Silicon Valley's population, which, forms the innovation hub of the world. And it's thanks to them that this area in the world is known as risk taker and therefore innovative. So I'm wondering, and why is the Bay Area so unique, right? So, and some people say it looks like Europe because of California's weather similarity to the Mediterranean coast, because of because of its liberal approach to politics as well. And at the same time, it is also very different from the rest of the US because 57% of its tech-related population, those people working in tech, is formed by immigrants. This explains the uniqueness and economic development of this region, which most certainly would not be as developed as it is right now if foreigners didn't take part in this. Are you ready for a mind-blowing statistic? Right, so get ready. The Bay Area has a GDP of $535 billion, which is insane, right? And it represents a 14% of the country's total GDP. If we compare this to other countries' GDPs, or just imagine California being its own country, it would be the ninth richest country in the world. It is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And so this shows how important the combination of dreamers coming from all over the world and locals also, so seeking for an environment that supports their craziness is in order to achieve their dreams. But failure is negatively seen in most parts of the world since it tends to be associated with catastrophes and unrecoverable defeats, as you may know. But let me tell you something, this is completely wrong. And that's why we brought the founder and former CEO of the North Face Hub Club in one of our events we organized in San Francisco with the collaboration of Holt International Business School. In that event, he mentioned that most immigrants came to America to seek for opportunities and therefore take risks, which also explains why this bay is so diverse in terms of thinking, cultures, but most importantly, it creates the risk taker culture. Also, it must be noted that once immigrants get to the Bay Area, they have the freedom to achieve their dreams, and the entrepreneurial environment really helps them to do so. So, immigrants come from parts of the world such as Europe and Asia, where family is the center of everyone's mind. So, family is the most important thing in life for them, and which is fine, right? But it also has its cons. And so, therefore, any action that can put your family's reputation at risk, that can be considered as an unrecoverable defeat, which creates fear for potential failure and therefore it limits the number of entrepreneurs. Foreign entrepreneurs come to the US to fight their failure fears so they can dream big without any judgment from their families, friends, and society as a whole. Hub Club also mentioned in our event that he has had experience with VCs or venture capitalists who have told many entrepreneurs they would only invest in them, in their startups, if they had failure experience, since it teaches people how to make decisions under pressure, not based on theory, on what you learn at school, or what people tell you, but on real experience, what you've lived in life. And that's the real value. And therefore, everyone who seeks to become an entrepreneur must continuously do, even if the odds don't seem to be in your favor, as Elon Musk said. And since this is the only way you can take on projects and learn as you do, to potentially ending up achieving your dreams. So, to conclude, even though failure is seen as a bad thing, you should not care about what others think or say about you. And since at the end of the day, you're the visionary, you have the vision, and you're the only one who truly believes in your dreams, and therefore, you're the only one you can make them a reality. So, yeah, give it a thought, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week, I promise. So, next week we'll have a guest, Lorenzo Grillo. He's a recent graduate from college, and we'll talk about how different is to, starting up a company in Europe versus in the US. And we'll also talk about his experience in launching an app at such a young age. And in the meantime, you can read the articles that inspired our podcast. It's on wifimilk.com/blog.